This is Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick. Thanks to NRMA Insurance and Uniden.
I promise to get the name of the show right this week. Stephen, Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars.
Yes.
Stephen Fennick, Trevor Long. Thanks to NRMA Insurance, proudly helping over 3 million Aussies protect the things they care about. And Uniden Smart Dash Cams, CanStar Blue award-winning 5-star rated dash cams that you should have in your car, especially your EV, because you've shelled out for something beautiful and new.
Yes.
Get a dash cam.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, likewise, Trev.
How's cruising around in your EQE? I seen you a couple of weeks ago. I sent you a photo of an EQE on the road. Hadn't seen one for ages.
Yeah.
I look back at that photo I sent you. It's a bloody good photo. Jackson took it from the back seat out the window.
I think my response was it was an effing beautiful piece of machinery.
It is a beautiful car on the road.
Yeah.
I got to say, I think
agree.
the same with the EV9. When I see one, I go, that's a good-looking car.
Yeah, I don't mind them either, yeah.
I was in an Uber the other day, again, talking about electric cars, and a Cooper dropped. I went, that's my car! Because I feel like when I mention a Cooper, people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And so you get really
Isn't it
excited
funny
when
how
you
we
see
see, you don't see a lot of Coopers.
No.
You don't see a lot of EQE 350s either, Mercedes, but
that was
it's
300,
really,
by the way.
it's
yours.
a,
one
300,
was- yeah, it
yeah,
was
no,
300.
350 is what I've got, but it's really nice to see. I haven't seen many, and I'm glad about that.
No, but that goes to my point about the Toad, you know?
Yeah.
That's, by the way, I've adopted
Toad
that
Model Y.
absolutely. To that caller that brought that up. If you're the caller that brought that up a few weeks ago, send me an email. I'll send you some merch because I love it. It's such a great line. But that's like I want to be a bit unique.
Yeah, me too.
That's all right.
Yeah. I think I've only ever seen my car, I think once before. Once in the US, I saw it.
Apart from when you open your phone and there's the photo.
It's not on my phone. I've got photos of it in my gallery. It's not my wallpaper or anything, like you.
Yeah, mine is.
Like Trevor doesn't have his kids as his wallpaper. He's got his cars
Just
as
to
his
be the
wallpaper.
record, I do now. Kids every time, okay?
Yeah. Oh, it's changing. There you go.
Yeah.
And everyone just read all your messages too, mate.
That's all right. Probably came with 4K. Great to have your company. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. If you have an EV question, you bought an EV, you want to buy an EV, you're curious, whatever it is, 0477 657 657, 0477 657 657. Send us a note, send us a text. We'll get in touch. If you want to email us, go to techguide.com.au or EFTM.com. We have a caller on the line to kick off the show, and it's Malcolm. Malcolm, g'day, mate.
G'day, Trev. How are you doing?
You're really good, mate. We've spoken to you before. You were thinking about going
caller.
EV.
Yeah.
So you're our first return caller, having, I'm assuming, made a decision. Rewind for us.
Yes.
Remind us what you were looking at. Where were you in the market?
Yeah, well, I was looking between three, the Tesla Model Y, the Kia EV6, and the Polestar Model 2.
Yep.
Drum roll. Where'd you go?
And the winner is...
Well, I made a decision 2 months or probably 6 or 8 weeks ago now, and I bought the Toad.
Model Y. So obviously, mate, you do you affectionately refer to it as the Toad, or you obviously like the look of it?
No,
That's why
I
you bought it.
don't.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Malcolm.
I think I could refer to Trevor as the Toad, maybe.
Hey! I deserve that.
Oh, shots
I 100%
fired.
deserve
Malcolm,
that.
boom. There you go.
All right. What made you make that decision apart from your failing eyesight?
Look, probably a lot of factors, as there's always the case in these things. I think the Model Y probably is the most probably useful of the three in terms of space, and it's a bit bigger than the other two.
True. Yeah.
And I was able to prove that the other day when I put a 1.8 metre piece of fencing in the back of the Model 3 with the seats down quite easily. So that sort of indicated that if you really needed to, you could actually put the seats down and sleep there, as they say in their ads.
Definitely.
So the size, I just liked the way it drove. I just thought that. Even though it was probably similar to the EV6 in terms of acceleration, that I got the dual motor model, it just felt faster. I don't know why. I think it just also felt a little quieter.
Yep.
And, despite the fact that it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, I like the tech it's got. I think, that sort of just suits me down to the ground. I'm a bit of a tech head myself. And, like that. I actually got Apple CarPlay up and working on the browser at one stage using a third-party device.
That is a real sideways hack.
Hey,
Yeah,
there
well
you
done.
go. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as you put the car into drive, it stops working, so that's pretty useless.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
But you mentioned
absolutely.
you're techie, so the Tesla is that sort of car that appeals to that more savvy user, doesn't it? And it's that sort of minimal design and look too. That's quite appealing too for a lot of people, including yourself, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and also, I think, obviously the charger network is fantastic.
Yep.
And, probably of the three, it's got the highest seating position as well, and I've got a bit of a bad back.
Yes.
And I just found that getting in and out of the Tesla was probably the easiest of the three of them.
Now, there's been a lot of fluctuation in price. Was there any during your buying process or since your buying process? Has that played into your mind?
Well, very interesting. I actually made the decision to buy after the first price decrease, or maybe the second.
Oh, okay.
And between the time when I purchased and took delivery of it, there was another price decrease of about 3,800, and they passed it on to me.
Oh, beautiful.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's an interesting thing, and I'll, my opinion, but I'll give credit to them. I've heard a lot of that where essentially if you're in that, you haven't got the key, you basically haven't completed the transaction, and that wins people over. There is obviously the people that bought one a week before that might still be filthy, but at least there's a little bit of thought about the customer service at that sense.
Yeah, and effectively on the model that I got, I saved 10 grand. It was ridiculous, really.
Yeah, right.
Sweeten the deal even more. That's great.
And what have you found so far? Remind me, you didn't come from an EV. This is your first EV, right?
That's right. I've had a hybrid before. I had a hybrid Lexus before.
So what have you found with charging? Have you found it to be something that meets your expectations? Because you obviously did a lot of research.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I've only just got really the granny charger at home, but I got the Sparky to put in a 35 amp circuit. And that charges at 30 kilometres an hour, which is more than sufficient for my needs.
Pretty good. Wow.
Yeah.
But I did try the supercharger network, even though I didn't need to. I just thought, I'll give it a crack.
Why not?
That's great.
What it's like. And, I sort of walked in, it was probably a bit over half down, or a bit under half down, probably about, 250, 280K left in it. Plugged it in, just went in the shops, bought a couple of things, came out, and by the time I came out, it was charged, and it cost me $11.
Yeah.
Can
I mean,
ask,
it just works, right?
Do you when you on your EV, do you have it as a percentage or kilometres on your battery?
I think mine shows both.
Yeah, right. I leave mine on percentage. What do you do, Malcolm? Do you have it as kilometres or percentage on your battery?
I swapped it around a bit, but I actually find kilometres the best.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So you know how you range. Yeah. Actually, my Merc has both. It has the as well. It has the percentage and the range.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think Tesla might be the only one that is an alternating number. You've got to choose.
Yeah.
Most cars, again, it's because you don't have the dashboard. You've got that kind of restricted. Not restricted. It's a big screen, but there's only so much you want to display on a screen like that for information overload.
Yeah.
So I think with the Cooper, for example, has that little tiny instrument cluster, and that's enough to
at the front.
Provide that little bit of information there.
Yeah.
The Kia's obviously got two massive screens, so that there's enough room for it. So yeah.
What colour did you get?
I was just going to say the
what
same
colour's
thing.
your car?
It's white with the white interior.
There's not many of them going around, is there?
White on white. That's good.
Yeah. It looks fantastic.
I had white. My Tesla was white. It's a
interior.
standout. I love it. My
They
seats
do.
are white.
It is a remarkable interior, isn't it? The fact that it really doesn't get dirty. Like I remember having, and I talked last week about my experience with my BMW, and I remember those beige leather seats, right?
Yeah.
And I remember having to clean them and scrub them, and over the years, I just think Tesla's found some magic with their seat material.
It's vegan leather
that makes it just repel any colour, discoloration.
The only thing I had, and you've only had yours for a little while. My one, after 5 years, still looked immaculate. But I did find that wearing jeans a lot, the blue on the jeans sometimes come off on the seat. So you just got a wet wipe and just came straight off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the white on white, and I've changed all the external badges to be black, so it looks pretty good.
How did you do that? Is that like you got a paint done, or you got new badges?
No, you can just buy these things online. They just effectively clip over the old Tesla badges.
Ah, look at
Clip-ons,
you.
yeah,
Very
wow.
nice.
There's
And,
probably
I
no
put
other
the-
car company in the world that has more online third-party accessory
Yeah.
products than Tesla, I reckon.
Yeah,
True.
and I got the look-alike Tesla spoiler on the back as well in black. So
Oh, so not
Yeah,
from
it sort
Tesla.
of
You
takes-
got that's a third-party product too. You got the spoiler.
third-party product.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, a last question: we're coming? We're in winter, so it's fine. You've had it for a little while, but we're going to come into a hot Aussie summer. Are you going to get a blind or a shade for the roof? Do you think? Because I noticed that a lot in the
absolutely.
US.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit thin on top, so I think I might need a little bit of protection up there.
Yeah, the toad here feels your pain, Malcolm. They really do. Well, that's great, mate. I'm really welcome to the
That's
EV
great.
club, mate. Awesome stuff. You'll love the car.
Thanks, guys.
It'll be a joy
Loving
to
it,
drive
yeah.
for a long time, and hopefully you get to have some passengers in that front seat, and you give them a little squirt of the accelerator
Yes.
to give them that EV
Always
experience.
puts a smile on people's faces when you do that. I found
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
did it, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've done that already. I'm actually thinking of paying the $3,000 for the performance upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Look at
Okay.
you, just for a little bit of extra squirt off
Bit
the
of
line,
extra
mate.
grunt.
That's
Nice.
wild.
Exactly.
Nice one.
You know what I think? Malcolm
Never
must be
use it,
doing
but,
very well.
Malcolm is doing very well. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Not as well as you two blokes, that's for sure.
Ah.
Good on you, mate. Great to
Thanks
hear
a
from
lot.
you again. Really appreciate the follow-up call, mate.
Okay, all the best.
See
Good
you,
on you,
mate.
buddy. Thanks very much. All right, I'll cop that. I'll cop the toad. Yeah.
Toad.
You know what's
Mate,
so funny about
straight
that?
back at you.
We were sitting there chatting in the intro, and I remember saying toad and thinking Malcolm's on the line.
He's just
listening.
heard. He heard us, mate.
Oh,
It's like that Seinfeld episode where he goes, "I could hear everything you were saying on the other line."
If you've been on the show and you've made a decision, we want to hear from you. We want to know what you ended up doing.
This is the show. We
but
like to hear from you because your experience is different to other experiences,
Absolutely.
and we like to hear about it.
Even if you buy a Model Y,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It's okay.
Two blokes talking electric
Yeah.
cars. I had a moment of
What's
zen.
that?
I went the opposite to the dance club. I went for a moment of zen.
Okay. Yeah, that's your choice.
It is my choice.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. I'm allowed a
There you
personal
go.
choice.
Yep, definitely.
Anyway, I'm going to recover from Malcolm now, and
Yeah,
we'll
just-
move on with additional
yeah.
callers. And
Yeah.
we welcome your calls. Send us a text 0477 657 657, and we'd love to get you on the show. Brendan's on the line. G'day, Brendan.
G'day, how are you?
Really good, mate.
mate.
Where are you at, mate? What's your EV world like?
I live out in Camden, New South Wales. Not long got into the EV world, actually, just recently, the other day.
Oh, the other day?
The other day,
You're fresh.
You're freshy. A
Fresh
freshie, you
meat.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
What'd you get?
I got the Model 3 rear-wheel drive just for a change. It seems
Thank
fairly
God.
popular at the moment.
Rear-wheel drive. So is that with a new shape, the new front on it?
Highland?
Yes, yeah,
Highland?
the new Highland, yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm going to say I love it. I do love the look
is
of
nice,
the
yeah.
new Model
Yeah.
3. Yeah, like I can say, and Malcolm can bag me about the Toad as well, but
Yep.
the Model 3 previous generation, as in original,
Yeah.
not a fan. But the Model
Yeah.
3 Highland update is a sick-looking car. You've done well there. What colours you
Slick.
get, mate?
I got the blue, actually. I
I was
steered
gonna
away
guess
from the
that.
standard white.
Yes.
Well done.
yes.
Bravo.
I was going to guess blue. And what colour seats? You got the white seats or the black seats?
Just went the black seats. That was a
black.
white.
You know what,
decision, that
Brendan?
one.
Yeah.
Because I put my $1,500 down for a Model 3 when they first launched. Remember
Yeah.
back
Yes,
in the
I
day?
remember.
I said
Yeah,
like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, it was a while back.
And it was blue. You know when you log into the Tesla website
Yes.
and it shows you your car? Mine was blue.
Blue.
I was always going to get
black
blue.
seats. Black seats. Did
I
they
don't
offer
know.
that?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So how long have you had it? Literally days.
Just days, you said, yeah.
You sent
Yeah,
us.
picked it up on the 11th.
You sent us a tragic photo of you listening to the podcast in a parking lot, just
Great
loving
taste,
life.
mate. Great taste.
That's right, yes.
Bloke's
yes.
got Netflix and Disney
Yeah.
and all these
And he
things there, but he
chooses to
chooses
listen
two
to us.
blokes talking. You're just wild, mate. What are you loving most at this point in time?
I love the cost to charge it up at the moment. That's going well for me.
Yep.
But overall, the drive is fantastic.
Yeah. You give it a bit of a go, mate. You give it a bit of a squirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really built for that. It's pretty quick off the mark. It's
Yeah.
no performance model,
yeah,
but
right.
it's quicker than what I had prior,
Still
which
good.
is nice.
Yep.
When you say the cost of charge, what's your charging process right now? You got solar at home. You just happy that it's way cheaper than petrol?
I do I do have solar, but I can earn more money, I think, off the solar now than I can to charge a car. So I'm using the Origin plan, the EV plan, the Power Up.
And you know what? I just found out Origin only do charging for Teslas. That's the only EV brand that Origin works with.
That is outrageous.
I'll tell you a real quick story. I got an email from Origin about to write about the EV plan. And I looked at the website. I said, "Is this only just for Teslas?" And then she said, "Yeah, it is." And I said, "Look, get back to me when you discover there are other brands apart from Tesla."
That is unbelievable. Because I was just going to say to you, I've got Origin here at the office, but the different company at home.
Yep.
And now that I'm solid up, I'm kind of monitoring my usage and going, okay, in the next 6 months, I'm going to find a different provider. And I'm thinking, that sounds great, but that's wild. So can you just explain to me, so you're essentially, it's cheaper for you to charge the car under their EV plan than it is to use the solar because you can get more money by sending the solar out. You're getting like 10 or 12 cents to send it out. And it's what? How many cents to charge?
That's exactly right. 8 cents. So the app connects through to the Tesla.
Wow.
Yeah, so the app does all the work. So it decides when to schedule at the cheapest possible rate. I can override that at any time I need to.
Yep.
So essentially, this I've worked. I haven't done a full charge. I've only been charging about 80%, but it's about $5 for a full charge.
And what's your driving like? Are you driving long distances every day, once a week? What's the drive?
No, so I do about 80 k's round trip a day. Okay. About 4 days a week. So
that's still decent. Yeah, decent. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll probably be charging it once a week, a little bit more occasionally. But for the bigger trips, we've got a Toyota Prado that we tour in and that sort of thing. So I've got both ends of the spectrum covered there.
What else did you consider? Or were you all in on the Model 3 from the get-go?
Oh, no, I looked at everything. I've always been a Tesla fanboy, I'll admit to that.
Okay, you poor simpleton.
But I looked at I looked at absolutely everything. From the MG up, the Tesla was at the top end of the money scale. So,
what came closest then? What was
second?
Well, it was second.
It'd be the BYD Seal.
Great car.
That seems to be its main competitor, funnily enough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And so you thought, you know what, spend the extra cash, go the Tesla.
Yeah, well, the decider was I wanted my wife to drive the Tesla. I knew I was going to be happy with it. I wanted her to drive it. She loved the Tesla and said, "No, let's buy this now."
Really? You know what? You're not the first person to say that. Where the partner has said, "Oh no, I love the Tesla," and they've decided to spend extra on the Tesla. See, happy wife, happy life. That's how it goes,
Minister for War and Finance approves. I'm all in, mate.
That's it. Keep them happy.
Exactly. We did go and check out the Seal.
Yep.
It just wasn't it was a lovely car. It drove beautifully.
Yeah.
It just wasn't, you're forking out that amount of money on an EV, new technology. The Tesla felt like it represented the market a bit better, I think.
Yeah. So a bit sleeker, you reckon, a bit more high tech.
It does feel like, I think the fit and finish of the BYD is amazing, but it does feel a touch more luxurious to be in a Tesla, maybe.
Mm. Yeah, the BYD felt like a car that was an EV, whereas the Tesla felt like it was just it represented EVs all out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So does the wife get to drive it, or is she driving the Prado?
Yeah,
she does. She's scared to drive the EV at the moment.
Ooh, right.
We did a nice trip down to Berrima on the weekend, and she drove down there and back. So hopefully she's got a confidence up on that.
My wife never drove my Tesla once.
Yeah, we know.
In 5 years.
He didn't let her.
She didn't want to drive it. Yeah.
My wife is now driving the Cupra under duress.
What?
So like the other day when I needed the extra seats, I said,
God.
"Babe, I need to take the EV9. Do you mind?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll drive yours then."
Oh.
But she doesn't complain about it when she's driving
I've never offered Joe the Merc.
Yeah, what a shock.
Yeah, that's
what a
she's
shock.
Never had
hang on, what's going to happen, mate? What's going to happen when she does start loving the Tesla? Because she will, right?
Yes.
Well, then I'm in a bit of trouble. I'll be stuck with the Prado, I think.
Yeah, right. And how often do you do the touring in the Prado?
Probably every 3 months we go somewhere on a reasonable trip.
Towing as well?
Yes, we've got a camper trailer that we take with us.
Well, I won't try and convince you to buy an EV9.
That's your best option then for now. Okay. Well, EV9 can handle it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I can't imagine a camper trailer on an EV9. You'd lose 120, maybe 200 k's of range. And mate,
with the extra weight.
There's no way on planet Earth I'm convincing this bloke to take a 400 kilometre range car with a trailer. No, not going to happen.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, might slow the trip down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did say you went on a trip though in the Model 3. No dramas with the charging. All the chargers were working. Everything was okay.
Yeah, it's only about what would it be, about 170 k's return, so it wasn't even outside our window, so it was easy.
Right.
Nice.
And charging situation at work, home, you got places to charge. You mentioned before the solar's working.
Yeah.
Have you where you work?
So
have you got an option to work? Yep.
Well, I've got the Tesla wall charger at home.
Yep.
So in the couple of hours at night, that'll charge fully for me. So it's not really a drama.
Yeah, beautiful.
So you can only ever need to charge at home, then, don't you? That's great. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome to the EV Club. We should get
Look
like a
at
badge
you.
or something, mate, that we send to people. That says, I don't think anyone's going to wear a badge.
And the reason he bought an EV is because he was listening to this show too. Is that right?
Well, that's exactly right.
That's it. There you go. You confirmed. Yeah.
You both cover the very hard topics to research online, such as charging and people's experiences. So it is a really good podcast, and that's why I sent you the photo.
Good feedback,
mate. I've just kept that as a nice, didn't over talk over because that's a great grab. Well said.
Good feedback.
If we had a promos department, we'd use that.
Yeah, that's going to be in the promo.
Oh, you know what's annoying about the modern world, Brendan? We don't like having bumper stickers on our cars.
No.
Like
you
you
wouldn't catch me.
See, that's the thing. We could make Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars bumper stickers, but no one would put them on.
No,
you wouldn't put a sticker on your window.
Yeah, I did. On my my petrol Merc, I had a South sticker on the back window.
Forget South. That's a cult that you're in.
I wouldn't have put a bumper sticker. If it wasn't South, so I put nothing on there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find the merchandising idea for this.
What would you put on yours?
We had an LA sticker, a Dodgers sticker on the Kia Carnival.
See? Similar to South then.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe some baseball caps or driving gloves would work.
Baseball caps or driving gloves. I think driving gloves, that's not going to happen, mate. That's the weirdest...
whatever you need. Driving gloves, I can see that.
Well, mate, tell you what, send me a note with your address. I'll send you some EFTM merch at the very least, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for getting in touch.
Brilliant, thank you.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks,
excellent. Mate. Another Tesla owner. 2 in a row, mate.
Boom.
2 in a row.
Wow. And he admitted. You heard it. Everyone heard it.
Everyone heard it.
It's because of us.
We're not clipping the ticket.
No, we're just saying. And he mentioned himself that it's all the stuff that's hard to research.
Yeah.
Charging, range, all that stuff we talk about right here. So we're doing the research for our listeners.
Yeah. Look,
and
viewers. I'll say this again. I'm toying and testing with the idea of trying to help people get a better deal on their cars as well.
Okay.
Get in touch.
Let's plug in our network.
We can help you. I can genuinely help you get a better deal on a Subaru, the Solterra, the Kias, EV6, EV9, the Nero, Hyundai, the Kona, the Ioniq 5 and 6, the Toyota BZ4X, the Mitsubishi FEVs.
So what we need is a promo code.
The Mustang. No, just get in touch.
We've got to talk about a promo code for all these brands.
No, it's not a promo code. That's not how it works. You've got to get in touch with us.
Okay.
Mazda have a FEV, the GWM Aura or the Nissan Leaf. So basically, I am extremely confident. And I did this actually this week. My brother-in-law was buying a car, and it wasn't an EV, but
so you can pull some strings.
He got a great deal.
Good deals.
And I'm telling you, I didn't realise these deals existed.
There you go.
So if you're looking to buy an EV, I'm not going to start hooking people up with any car. EVs only here on the podcast.
Yes,
Happy to take your call, talk to you, and then hook you up with someone who can give you a better deal than what you can find right now.
Fair enough. It's not Two Blokes Talking petrol cars, is it?
No.
It's Two Blokes Talking electric cars.
I am driving a petrol car right now. Anyway, that is right. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. I was going to feed you like a monkey.
Well, okay, I'm not a monkey though, am I, mate? Would you want me to catch it in my mouth?
That would have been funny.
No.
But I didn't think it was appropriate.
I've got good reflexes and I've got good coordination. That would have worked, but maybe not today.
Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Thank you to NRMA Insurance and Uniden Smart Dash Cams. Great to have your company and great to hear from you. If you're listening and you want to chat, 0477 657 657. We've already heard from 2 brand new EV owners.
Yes.
Great to hear their experiences. Another caller on the line. Penelope's there. G'day, Penelope.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Really good.
Well.
Where are you at in the EV journey?
I'm sort of at the beginning.
Nice.
My husband and I are in the market for an EV. We've got a little Corolla hatch, 2013, and we're ready to hand that car over to one of our adult children.
Okay.
So we're on that journey looking for a new EV.
And so have you test driven any? Have you looked any? What's your shortlist? Or is that what you're talking to us for?
Look, have we test driven? We have test driven a Tesla 3, a Volvo E30, a Hyundai Kona, Kia EV6, Nero, the Ioniq, Polestar, MG4, Cupra Born, the BYD Atto 3 and Seal. I think that's
11 cars.
Penelope, you've driven more EVs than we have.
But I have massive respect for you because so many people don't look at the market, Penelope. What have you got no criteria? Because that is a very broad range.
We were agnostic at the start. And so the first one we tested was the Tesla, which we absolutely loved the design of it. Just such a clean looking car, drove beautifully because it was the first one we'd driven. And then we thought, look, let's test what else is out there in the market? Because as I said, we were agnostic because we did have a people mover like a Honda Odyssey when the kids were growing up. Terrific car, luxury, just a nice car. And so we but the Tesla 3, loved the design, but just a little bit too minimalist for us. And we just, have some ethical issues around it too. So anyhow, around personalities. So, so then
my views are shared. Well done.
We understand.
And so then go on.
So now I'm just asking, so have you got like a criteria? Like, are you looking, it's got to do this, it's got to do this, it has to go this far? Like,
or are you discovering that as you go along?
Look, discovering it as we go along, but then I was thinking, prepping to talk to you, I thought, now, what is the criteria? And I thought, we have a dog. We've got a Jack Russell. He needs to go in a cage when we put him in the car. So that's actually sort of knocked out the sedans as such. So the Tesla 3 wouldn't work. We want a little bit of luxury because we're later on in life where it's nice to treat yourself. Nice finish. The other thing is we live in a city, Melbourne, and I can walk to the shops. We don't like the Corolla's only done 130,000 Ks on it, and the car is
awesome. 10
or 11.
Yeah, it's 11 years old.
And so look, we use public transport, for commuting. However, having said that, my husband is now retired and I'm now working part-time, so we can travel now. So we do need a car that does have a good range. Like I haven't test driven the Aura. Love that little car, but I don't think that's
It'd be
right
too small,
for us
I think.
at this point. Too small.
In your long list of cars, Penelope, was the Volvo in there?
Yeah, the E30.
Look, beautiful car, finished beautifully inside. Love those little side mirrors, the rimless mirrors. I like it, like a bit of style, but I thought for the price, the back leg room was a bit of a letdown. I thought, and what was the other issue with it? I think that was one of my main concerns with it, and disappointed that it was very minimalist. We still want a few buttons to push, so I don't have him yelling at me, how do you navigate? Which button do I have to push?
So you've done 11 cars. You've got more to drive. I can tell you that right now. If you were pushed today, what's your top 3 today?
Oh, look, you're going to laugh. Okay, so you know what? The Nero has come down in price. We're looking at one at the moment significantly. I wouldn't have considered it before because I just thought the price difference between that and some of the other cars for what you got didn't match. Look, if push came to shove, maybe the Hyundai Kona, maybe. Look, the EV6 was lovely. So I'm waiting for the EV5, the Kia EV5, to see what that's like. We love the Ioniq, but it's just a little. If we really wanted the top model, I think that's pushing us too far price-wise.
Now you mentioned you live in the inner city, Melbourne. Is charging going to be a problem? Are you able to have you got off-street parking, or how's it going to work?
We're lucky. No, we've got off-street parking and we've installed solar panels too. So we want to capitalise on that.
Prepared. That's great.
I honestly think, and so you're you're not in a massive rush, but there is a move to obviously offload the existing car, and I'm sure there's a child thinking, I want that car.
When am I going to get it? Yeah.
I think the EV5 is going to be a really interesting experience for you because here's what I love about the EV9. It's obviously a bigger car, but I can be driving and reach over and just flick up on the climate control. It's going up. The heat's going up.
Yeah.
When I want the heated seats, they're just on the door here, and I'm sure the EV5 will be vastly similar. So I really think, rather than anything, you should think about the EV5 when it comes out and make sure you test drive it.
When is that? When's it coming out?
I feel like, there was meant to be a media drive in the next month, but there's been some delay. So it's this year anyway.
Right, okay.
It's in the next few months.
It's supposed to be this month.
Yeah.
I've been on the dealer's case about it.
And you've driven so many cars, Penelope. Is there? What are some of the negatives you've experienced? Because you want to make sure you're looking at it from all angles. What are some of the negatives of an EV?
The anxiety about not having a spare tyre, but I understand that that's starting to flow through to combustion cars anyhow, to normal ones.
Yep.
So that's what we liked about the Kona. But on that aspect, I've read that some people buy a spare tyre anyhow and manage to slip it into the boot somehow.
Okay.
Don't know, but they do it. Look, negatives, just not fully understanding how the charging works. I need to get my head around that, around range and speed. I just need to get a bit educated about that.
Yeah. Well, that comes with the car. You buy the car, it's a little bit of a learning experience.
You've really got to remember that. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. Two people living side by side with the exact same car bought on the same day, after 3 months, will have different range estimates at 100% because of their different driving styles.
Yeah.
The basic thing to remember is that on a fast drive, your car is less efficient than when you're pottering around town. Our EV9 currently says something like 650 k's range because my wife just drives it to and from work. It's a 10-minute drive there and 10 minutes back. It thinks it's really efficient, but if we open it up on the highway, it's going, whoa, what's going on here? So it's more about you learning your own limits and what it would do. But look, I think that the charging thing, and we've spoken to a couple of callers in this week and last, that it's a learning experience in the public sense. So when you do those little road trips, you might take a little weekend away somewhere. You'll start to, but you sound like the kind of person, Penelope, that is research heavy, and so therefore you'll do that. You'll know what to look for when you're about to take a trip.
Yeah.
Agreed. And look, the other thing is just the one pedal driving. When we did that initially, I'm like, I don't understand this. But I could see that I would end up absolutely loving it.
Yeah, that's a great feature. That's a favourite of mine. That's excellent. But I think you'll learn. What I've found is that you kind of know when you're driving how much of the battery. Like I know when I come out here to see Trevor and we record, I know because Trevor lives far away from me. I know exactly what sort of percentage of the battery that it's gonna take to get there and back. So you become more experienced. You know the car more. And you get into a habit with the car, so that's one thing you'll be learning as well.
Hey Penelope, you've been to so many car companies. Tell me about the experience with salespeople in showrooms.
Yeah, look, and I was going to ask, do a fact check on this. So, you get onto YouTube, you read, like I'm on a Facebook page where I follow what people are saying about EVs, blah, blah, blah. And there's one, as an example, the Kona. Now that comes in, the deluxe version comes with, I think, 19-inch wheels. Yep. The cheaper version comes with 17-inch wheels. And some people say, look, if you have, the deluxe one, change it over to 17-inch wheels because you'll get more range with the car. I mentioned that to one of the car salesmen, and he just I've mentioned it to two, and they both looked at me blankly. Huh. And I thought, now am I second guessing? Do I know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They're not passionate about EVs yet. I've had some say to me, "Are you interested in a hybrid?" And I've had to go, "No, it's EV or nothing. That is it. It's EV." Yep. So I don't think the love is there yet for
unless you're talking to Tesla. Unless it's Tesla, because
Tesla,
all in
superb.
EV.
Yeah, lovely. And look, Volvo, they were great. The guy that I dealt with there, you knew that he knew his stuff about EVs.
Oh, wow.
But Yeah, I've just got to find a car salesperson who specialises in it. And I have heard that there are some dealers that, are particularly keen, but not on my side of town.
Well, I'll tell you this, Penelope. I think ignore the salesperson and just drive the cars that you want to experience. And as you get closer to narrowing it down, drive them again. Ask them for a day loan or a weekend loan because sometimes that's very possible, and I think that's a really important thing. But what I would say to you about 7-inch, 18-inch wheels, wheel covers versus mirrors and digital mirrors, it is absolutely true at a technical level that these things will make a difference to the range because the coefficient of drag is different with a whole range of things. But I'll also tell you that if you drive different to your husband in terms of you drive one pedal driving, he likes to have regeneration down a bit. Seriously, the difference in range based on the wheel is not going to be
minimal.
consequential to just simply planning your journey differently. You're not, if you get an extra 10 k's range, that is not going to change where you charge on a freeway. Like it's a weird thing that we in the EV world, especially in those Facebook groups, they obsess over.
Yeah.
And I get it, but honestly, no two people have the same range outcome on their cars. So, and the other reason I say that to you is, and again, and I said this just before we got to you, Penelope, but I genuinely want to help you get a good deal on your car. So if and when you decide what you want to buy, let me know, because if the dealer network I've got a relationship with can help you out with a better price, definitely want to hook you up. Because and I've just spoken to them. I said, can you do interstate as well? Because we're in Sydney. Absolutely can.
Yes.
So very curious, because that's one of the things that I'm most disappointed about is dealerships generally. And I had this, I've told this story where I went to trade in the Carnival and get a new one, and the bloke just basically said, "No, mate, you can't get you one," and didn't even try to sell me the car that was behind him, which I ended up buying from a different dealer. Like, it's remarkable.
Look, I would agree with you on that one. And look, the other thing is I guess my tip to people listening is don't overthink, because I know I overthink.
Give yourself a tip.
I'll give you, I've got to stop overthinking about it. And I agree with you, what you were saying about the size wheels. So I completely agree with you on that.
Hey, I'm nervous to ask this question, right? And I know it's not for you for several reasons that you've laid out, right? But what did you think of the Cupra Born?
I loved it.
We
loved it, but the boot wasn't big enough.
I knew that.
There was a couple of things that we didn't like about it. But gee, it was a nice zippy little. If you want a zippy car to drive around the city.
You know that's what Trevor owns, don't you? You know Trevor owns.
I think I do. Yeah.
Whereas I own a Mercedes.
Oh, geez, what do you own, Stephen?
I own a Mercedes EQE 350. But
now, is that a big car?
Yes,
is that a tank?
It's great. Yeah,
it's not
great
too
car.
big. It's a large sedan. He's doing very
call
well.
it a luxury sedan. Well,
Okay.
Hey, Penelope, really excited for your journey. I have massive respect for the effort and the work you're putting in.
Yep.
I assume your husband's just as involved in this, or is he now at the point of just going, just tell me what we bought, will you, love?
Well, that's my aim, because last time he won out on the Corolla, this time I'm going to win. So
very nice.
I'll tell you right now, I'm back in the EV5.
Yeah, or maybe what about the E3?
I think it'd be too small.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think
sounds like you need a mid-size electric SUV.
You know what you haven't mentioned once, Penelope, is price. Now, I'm sure you've got a budget. I've got no doubt about that.
Yes.
But I think that's really important that you're flexible and you're willing, because if you put an EV5 and an EV3 next to each other, they'll both be great cars, but I think given you've talked about legroom and different things at different times, I think you'll end up, out of those two anyway, with an EV5. So anyway, I'll be curious to see where it goes for you.
Thank you.
Good on you, Penelope. Thanks for getting in touch.
Thanks. Great to chat.
All right, bye.
Good on you. Cheers. That is
that's dedication.
That is
there,
a
mate.
genuine buyer's experience.
Wow.
Man, she's driven 11 cars. I don't think, other than us and a couple other people in the media, I don't reckon there'll be that many people that have driven that many electric cars.
Definitely not. Yeah. There was one, I think we had a call, if you remember, she had the drive day. I think it was she didn't get the Volvo. Yeah. So she's had a few, but not as many as Penelope.
Yeah.
Penelope she's set the record there.
Well done, Penelope.
Yeah.
And I'll reach out to Penelope and make sure that she knows the deals that she can get out there, because she's clearly passionate about it, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Man, what an awesome...
Yeah. But she's all in.
experience.
Remember they offered her a hybrid. She went, no, I want a full EV.
But again,
she's full,
isn't
all
it
in.
fascinating how the dealership experience can put you off?
Isn't that weird?
Why would you be talking someone out of it?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's about margins or profit or anything, but anyway. Great stuff. Lovely to hear from prospective buyers, new buyers. We've heard them all today. And if you're anywhere in that camp, get in touch. Send us an SMS, 0477 657 657. You can contact Stephen at techguide.com.au and me at EFTM.com. Stephen, let's do it all again maybe next week.
Let's charge up and do it again.
Oh,
See what I did there?
Well done.